listen to me. You've got the greatest meth cook in America. No, the two greatest meth cooks in America.
Hi, guys. A lot of Breaking Bad fans have wondered why Walter White didn't just cook meth by himself, considering all the problems caused by Jesse's screw-ups. Did a chemist as smart as him really need a partner? Well, the answer is yes, he did. Remember what he said about it himself?
Hey! This is a two-man job. I can't do it alone. Nothing else happens until I get my partner back.
But in the shadowy world of Walter White's drug empire, the choice of an assistant was a matter of life and death. Two contenders, Jesse Pinkman and Todd Alquist, stood at opposite ends of the moral spectrum. Apart from the two of them, Gail Boetticher had assisted Walter for a spell, but he was aligned with Gus Fring and thus lay beyond the scope of this discussion. So the question remained, who was the better assistant for Walter White, a.k.a. Heisenberg? Jesse Pinkman or Todd Alquist? In this discussion, keep in mind that Walter White's character had undergone a dramatic transformation, evolving from a regular schoolteacher to the ruthless Heisenberg. This transformation was not just a change in persona, but also a shift in personal needs and preferences. It all began when Walter White, diagnosed with cancer, discovered the lucrative potential of the drug business. He realized that while he possessed the chemistry skills to manufacture methamphetamine, he lacked the knowledge of how to navigate the drug trade. At this stage, Walter White needed Jesse Pinkman. He assumed that his role would be limited to the manufacturing process, while Jesse would handle the distribution and money. Jesse, initially skeptical of Walter, soon recognized his mentor's exceptional chemistry skills, referring to him as an artist.
Goddamn artist. So, what's this stuff called again?
Jesse was astounded by Walter's brilliance in creating thermite to melt a warehouse lock or fashioning a battery from everyday items. At this point, Jesse was more than an assistant. He was Walter White's perfect partner.
Come on!
But Walter, consumed by pride, saw Jesse as a subordinate rather than an equal partner, setting the stage for tension between the two. This marked the beginning of a recurring issue. Every time Walter made a decision or laid out a plan, Jesse often had suggestions or counter-arguments. Furthermore, Jesse, despite his criminal activities, held on to a high moral code. At least initially, Walter White shared this moral outlook until Jane's death. After watching her choke to death, he evolved into the real Heisenberg, driven by a relentless pursuit of power and willing to break any obstacle in his path by hook or crook. This difference in moral outlook led to numerous clashes between Walter and Jesse, causing problems for their operation. Walter, however, still desired Jesse as his assistant until near the end of their journey, as he could control and manipulate him to his advantage. Jesse's outrage following Todd's unexpected murder of Drew Sharp presented a dilemma for Walter. Although Todd's explanation made sense to Walter, he didn't want to upset Jesse, who was important to their operation and had a bond with Mike. So he handled the matter in his own unique manner. He told Jesse that he is equally furious over this incident, and what Todd had done was terrible. But he insisted that they had to move forward. Over time, Jesse realized that Walter had lied and that Kid's death had not affected him at all. This discovery marked the breaking point of their partnership. Jesse, like Mike, wished to cut ties with Walter, which took Walter by surprise. He never expected Jesse to abandon him. That's why Walter gives Mike money and lets him go while keeping Jesse in uncertainty, hoping to eventually convince him to reverse his decision. Walter might have succeeded in bringing Jesse back, but in a fit of rage, he takes Mike's life, a deed Jesse cannot forgive. With Jesse gone, Walter needed a new assistant, and he turned to Todd Alquist. Todd was the opposite of Jesse in many ways.
I don't want to talk about this.
Okay.
He grew up around criminal stuff and had a kill or be killed mindset. Right and wrong didn't matter much to Todd, and he didn't mind doing bad things if it helped him or his boss. He was ruthless and followed Walter's orders without question. What made Todd stand out and possibly a better assistant in Walter's eyes was his complete dedication to making their criminal enterprise succeed. He didn't ask questions, share opinions, or hesitate to do what Walter wanted. In the end, the choice between Jesse Pinkman and Todd Alquist came down to priorities. Jesse's moral values and reluctance to hurt innocent people clashed with Walter's ruthless ambitions as Heisenberg. Todd's loyalty and willingness to do whatever it took fit the Heisenberg better. In our view, Jesse Pinkman was the right partner for Walter White, who started making meth to support his family. But for the Heisenberg, who wanted to expand his empire at any cost, Todd Alquist was the perfect assistant, loyal and ready to do whatever it took for their dark goals. The choice between Jesse and Todd wasn't just a matter of preference. It reflected Walter White's own transformation from a desperate family man to a ruthless drug lord. However, after losing everything, he endeavors to shed his Heisenberg persona and return to being Walter White. During this period, he comes to terms with his past mistakes, forgives Jesse, and ultimately sacrifices his life to protect him. Haunted by the brutal murder of his brother-in-law at the hands of Todd and his family, as well as their plundering of his hard-earned fortune, Walter White's focus shifts. In the series' final moments, he chooses not to pursue vengeance solely for his own sake. Instead, he grants Jesse the chance to exact his own form of retribution on Todd. Thus, Jesse Pinkman will always be remembered as Walter White's ultimate companion.